Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. We've been away for some time. I think probably 2 weeks we have not posted anything. Just had some personal stuff that I had to deal with, but this week we're back with the weekly Elliott wave analysis as usual. And the pair that we'll be looking into this week will be the same: the AUD JPY, AUD USD, Euro USD, GBP JPY. Last week we saw a lot of big moves. It was really eventful because we had a lot of big movement caused by the high volume news, especially on the US pairs. So let's see what the market did last week and how we're going to prepare ourselves for approaching the market in this coming week. So let's get to it. Now, looking at the AUD JPY on a daily time frame, we can see that there has been this impulsive move to the upside. But when I'm looking at this impulsive move, the only thing I can see here is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. That is the reason why I labeled it the way I've labeled it. So that means right now this entire move, for me, it is a wave 4, waiting to see a wave 5. Now, the reason why for me I did not label this as a complete move, 5-wave moves, is because even when I go on the RSI, what I see is a divergence from this point, to this point, which is this wave to that wave. So that means, because you all know that we see normally divergences in wave 3 and wave 5, and you cannot see any divergence anywhere else from the beginning of this impulsive move to the upside. So that's why for me, seeing this divergence, it told me that this is wave 3, probably wave 3, and this is probable wave 5, which makes wave 1. And then after that, I saw yet another divergence from this point all the way down to this point, which is this level to that level. And that's why for me, seeing this also, I counted this to be wave 3. Now that's why for me the count has been as wave 1, this was my wave 2, and this was my wave 3, of which means right now I am waiting to see wave 5. Now, looking at this movement here, let me just take this out. Let me just reduce that and zoom in. Looking at this wave, looking at this area, of which for me this is a corrective. It has the characteristic of the corrective because we can see some overlapping waves inside. There was a temptation of saying that since this is wave 3, this is wave 4, and this is wave 5, but for me I could not count this I could not count this move as an impulsive move, because for me it showed clearly just an impulsive to the upside, a corrective, and then after that this move inside was an impulsive. So that's why for me this was wave A, wave B, wave C. But now again, if this was to be a wave B, that means I was supposed to wait to see a wave C to the downside. Now the characteristics of wave C, as you know from rules and guidelines, wave C can either be a triangle ABCDE. It can be an impulsive to the downside. But looking at this here, this move, it showed like a zigzag here, because you can count the waves. Then you can count this move, these 3 waves moves to the downside, which made wave A for me. And then here you can count wave B, and then after that you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that for me, so that for me by itself, it showed that this whole move was some kind of 3 waves. And because I saw the 3 waves and then I saw another 3 waves here, automatically, for me, the most probable count for this move to the downside was what I was seeing in this move was a WXY, and it's a WXY because in the last leg I can also see 3 waves, which is 1, this is 2, and now we're finishing the 3rd leg to the downside. So what I am expecting to see this coming week, if I can go to the 4 hours, and let me zoom out a bit. What I'm expecting to see this coming week, because I've already labeled this as A, B, C on wave A, and I've already done wave A, B, C. Now look at this wave C. This wave C came and it failed to close above this level, which was the level of termination of our wave B. And the moment it broke this level, it immediately came and closed below it, and we start seeing this impulsive move to the downside. Now this impulsive to the downside, by just looking at it, I see it changing momentum, because you can even see these big candles to the downside. Now yes, given that most of these big candles, they came with as an effect with the news, but yet for me, because of my previous analysis, I was expecting to see a move to the downside. Now is that confirmed? Will I start opening Monday by selling AUDJPY? No, I will not start opening by selling AUDJPY by next week, but rather I'll be waiting to see confirmations to buy. This impulsive move to the downside is really sharp and has already happened. What I'll be seeing, or what I'll be expecting to see, is some form of corrective move, whatever corrective move, corrective formation, corrective candles that I'll be seeing, and then I'll be selling it to the downside. So my bias on AUDJPY coming this week will be mostly to sell it, to short it. I will not be looking to buy it. But even though I know that I'll be looking to short it, I will not enter immediately. Most likely I'll wait to see how the market will open and how the market will be trading on Monday for me to make my final decision. Alright, again, looking at the AUD USD, the difference here compared to the AUD JPY is I can actually see a 5-wave move completed in this pair. So that's why for me in this pair, I am expecting to see a continuation of prices falling down all the way to most probably around this area, which is around 50 to 61% of fib levels, before we can see another impulsive move to the upside. Now the reason why for me this move is completed on a daily time frame, again, if we go down and look at the RSI, if we go down and see at the RSI, what you can see, number one, is a divergence from this level to that level. Sorry. And then we can see another divergence from this level to that level. And then again, we can see this movement over here, which is the low of the low in RSI concerning this move. Now, most of the time, you tend to see a divergence between wave 2 and wave 4. Now this here, you see that the line is going down, while here, when you mark this level to that level, the line is going up, which is another divergence. So that's why for me, looking at these factors, that's why I saw this as wave 1 completed, wave 2 completed, and this was probably going to be our wave 3. This was going to be our wave 4, and this was going to be our final wave, wave 5. Now, going back now to look at, as now we're looking at this move. Again, I have to remind you that this is a daily time frame. Let me just change the colors here a bit. I think this is fine. Now again, looking at this box over here, now we're looking at this move to the downside. Again, the number one reason why I tend to deem a move as a corrective move is because of overlapping. Like the moment that I see some overlaps in waves, that for me usually screams corrective move rather than reading it as an impulsive move. So for me, looking at this, when I'm looking at this, these waves, like most of them, they overlap with one another. This came down and then this came up as an impulse, as a corrective to this movement, and then we saw this clear move to the downside. Now this is what I see when I'm saying that this is an impulsive move. This move for me was more impulsive, so which means when I'm looking at here, I can see some overlapping, and then I see this impulsive to the downside. So for me, this looks like a wave A. And then you see this move to the upside, which means then now I can count this as wave B. And then I saw this impulse to the downside, which for me, this also would be counted as wave C. And then again, I saw this move to the upside, move to the downside correction, and then another move to the upside. So essentially, these are 3 waves moves. And then again, now we saw this move to the downside, which looked corrective, which looked impulsive. And then we saw this another move to the upside, and then another move to the downside, and now we're in this move. So if I want to analyze this, what I do is break this move in segments. And the segments that I'll be breaking here is, this will be my segment 1. And then this here was my second segment, and now I remained with this last segment to analyze. So here we saw 3 waves, that is completed. Here again we saw 3 waves, that is completed. And now again we're seeing these waves, and this move I don't think is completed. But anyway, let's go down to the 4 hours and get a better view of this price action. Now when we go down to the 4 hours, let me just go down. Now when we go down to the 4 hours, the same count will, I will still hold on to the same count, that this will be wave A, wave B, and this is wave C to make, let me change the, this here will be wave C to finish wave W. And then again, a 3-wave move to the upside, which again completes the wave X. And now the thing that I was not so certain about is concerning this move to the downside. Now I'm just gonna go out there and just say that I am not actually certain about this move, but for me, this move, by the nature of it, it looks impulsive, and the only type of wave, a corrective wave that I can associate this move with will probably be a zigzag. So that means this will be A, this will be B, and then I'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of which that will be wave C. So for me, in the way that I will be labeling, because I'm already seeing 3 waves here, I'm seeing A, B, C, automatically this move for me, again, I will deem it as a W, X, Y inside of a Y wave. So this will be a W, this will be my X, and now, which means this move here is our W. So the way that I'm going to label this, again, it will be an A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave C, right? And now again, going to this move, the X wave. The X wave, what I will be labeling here, what I can see here is a wave A, wave B, and then this is wave C to finish this wave X. And then again, coming down to this last portion of our price action, again, what I saw here was that this was a wave A, a wave B, and this is a wave C of yet again a W X, a W X Y. So here we have a B, C, making this wave W, and then again here we have another 3 waves, which is going to be again wave A, wave B, and wave C. And then, so that means, because this is a W, we can expect to see, okay, let me just label it. Let me just label it. So mind you, that means this coming week from Monday, again, my bias on the AUD USD is towards the downside. I am bearish on AUD USD, expecting it to come and hit these levels down here, which is either 50% or 61.8 fib level. So I'll be looking again to short this pair. Now for me, I can count this small move again as wave A, most probably wave B, and now we're on wave C. Now this wave C can be an impulsive, and I can clearly, most likely, if I was to say my opinion as it is, I would say that I'll be expecting to see the 5 wave moves to the downside. But yeah, I will be waiting to see what the market will be doing on Monday. If it does this fast 5 wave moves to the downside, it will be great. I will look for my opportunities to enter the market. But even if it doesn't do a zig, like this whole move is not a zigzag and as simple as this is, then still, because my bias is towards the downside, I'll be looking upon where to enter my sells and how I will be managing my trades. But my bias this week is to sell AUD USD only. Again, on the Euro USD on a daily time frame, my opinion may be very much different from a lot of people, because especially after seeing this impulsive to the upside, most people I know, they're looking at this pair and saying that they will be expecting a lot of bullish momentum to the upside. But for me, based on what I know and what I see is that this for me is just a corrective wave A, wave B, and this is wave C to the upside. Now, the only thing that I will be waiting to see and verify is to see if this move to the upside is finished, because as of now, the way I'm looking at it, is more likely that that move is not complete, but rather that's just a corrective. So yes, we'll see this move to the downside and then most likely one leg to the upside before we see this move to the downside. So this is essentially what I am expecting to probably see if it did happen. But even if it doesn't, my view on the Euro USD is to see more movement to the downside. I am not expecting the market to continue to break this level and continue to move to the upside. And the reason behind that is because even when we go down to the 4 hours time frame, just zoom in a bit. When we go down to the 4 hours time frame, this move for me is just 1, 2, 3. I'm struggling to count 5 waves in this move. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is wave 1, a correction, and then a 1, 2, and then another sort of like a correction to the downside. Whether it's going to be again a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it is definitely a move to the downside. So if I'm seeing a general, in a bigger sense, a 3-way move to the downside, yes, it makes sense to see this impulsive, which will make this a wave C. But then again, even looking at this wave, I can only see 1, 2, 3. So most likely this is going to be wave 4, that it may even come and terminate around this area before we finish the 5th leg to the upside. That is why when it comes to me, this week I will be waiting again to see how the market will open up on Monday, because we can see that this price may continue to move straight up to the downside, or if it reaches around these levels, it may turn and finish the wave 5 to the upside. But whatever the market will do, I will form my trading plan according to what I'll be seeing on Monday. But as of now, yes, there is this move to the upside. If I see signs of reversal, I might take this move to the upside. But if I don't, the market may continue to fall. But in either way, for me, I see this. Let me go to the daily. Either way, I see this whole move, for me, I see this whole move as nothing but just a wave 4 correction. So the bigger move will be down to the downside. But then again, we are observant of the market. We don't predict, we react. So I will still be waiting to see what the market will be doing on Monday and further down the week. But as for now, this is my view on Euro USD. Now coming back to the GBP JPY on a daily time frame, what I see here is what I think is we're in wave 4. We're in a wave 4, like this whole move. Like this whole move was not this whole move, actually empty here. This whole move for me, my view was a wave 4 correction, and it was a W X Y, which finished the 3 waves that made up the wave 4. And then after that, we saw this another move. What is happening with my trackpad? We saw this other move to the upside, which is impulsive, that came, and right now we're almost breaking on this high that was made previously with the wave X. So this is in the daily time frame. So because all of this has already happened, and even though I am seeing a WXY, which is the termination of wave 4, what I'm going to focus with this analysis for this coming week is only this move to the upside only. So I'll be focusing on this impulsive move to the upside, whether I'm thinking, oh, what I'm seeing is if this move is finished or not. Because if this move to the upside is finished, then GBP JPY is going, most likely it will start dropping, most probably to this level down here, before it falls down to the 50 or 61.8 in fib levels. But before we go into all those details, let's just go down to the 4 hours and see what might be happening in this coming week. Now, when we go down to the 4 hours time frame, previously I saw this move to the downside, and then I saw this move to the upside. Now, I knew that there was a probability that this was wave 4 and this wave 4 may have been completed. But because of the nature of how this market was moving to the upside, to be honest, I did not take any trades on GJ, even though in the back of my head, I thought that this might actually be a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and this is wave 5. Even though I saw all these things, because I was just not confident with the way that the market was moving, it didn't pull up those usual normal 5-wave impulsive move to the downside that we all used to. I was a bit scared to take any trades in GJ, but this is actually an impulsive move. And there are 5 waves there are 5 waves within this move, and they look complete, because when you come down to see this level right here, you can still even count 5 waves in this move. Again, you can count 5 waves on this move by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. So now this move, again, with the momentum that I'm seeing, that is why my bias of GJ in this coming week will be to short it only. So again, my bias on GJ is to short it, but I will not, again I repeat, I will not just start selling. I'll be waiting to see a correction or a continuation pattern to the downside before I take any shorts. And my first target, if I indeed do take shorts, or if I do actually take any trades in this pair, will be down this level, because it is a point where the market reversed last time, and most likely if it is going to fall, the first target will be around these levels. So this week I'll be expecting to see more moves to the downside on GJ, because I do believe the move to the upside, it is finished. Alright, so that's the weekly analysis for the pairs. Again, I'd like to ask you to please do not hesitate to visit our social media accounts, because we do try our best to post regular content there also. And I will be posting before and after of the trades that I'll be taking during this week, so please don't miss that out. And other than that, I just wish you all the best in your trading week. But before I forget, please, if you have any topic that you want me to talk about that does concern trading, please you can drop down the comment below, like whatever you want me to talk about. If there's maybe if you want me to do an analysis on a different pair, if maybe you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask below down the comments. And if you do find value in these videos, we do appreciate your support, your views. So please like the video, comment on the video, and would really appreciate if you do subscribe and set up your notification bell. Other than that, wish you all the best and take care.